to see how that. Let's see. Share. Okay. So this is project 7224. So I see we started some, so I just wanted to go through sheets that we have already. And let's see if, whatever I notice. So we can just go through together. Do you see this site plan?
Yes.
Okay. So just generally, so when we have project where we have involved topographics and where we have involved civil engineer, so once we receive a file from civil engineer, and this is new guy, his name is George Malov, something like that. So we should have in the projects under documents folder, which should have a project directory. Sometimes Sarah is too busy. Let me see if so. This is file 7224 project directory, and should name all engineers involved in a project. Let me just check it out if it's okay. So this is owner. Yeah, we don't have and there will be civil engineer. Oh, here is civil engineer. Yeah, okay, so there's not much information. So we'll need to get Sarah to update. So let's do it right away. So I wanted to show you some of these kind of administrative things as well. So you can when you start working on a project and you don't see information, we can just put it on teamwork. So we'll just get her message. Oh, it's really slow. Oh, this is Leo. It's not Sarah. Well, let's add Sarah. So let's see with the let's start with the standard things on like setback lines. I think these are all correct. Now, so there is a problem with this layout because when we have setback front setback line, we have this part which is actually part of the building, so it is encroaching. It is encroaching setback. So most likely what we will do, um, it will depend uh, how will uh, retention work or grading, uh, because if we move house till here, so we will still, so most likely there's gonna be like retaining wall somewhere in this area, and civil engineer is gonna let us know. So if we move house for additional, I think this is 8 feet, that shouldn't be problem. Now, when we're talking now coordination with the engineer, and we already sent him this layout, so there might be a problem. So we will need to notify engineer that that this will change. So we will need to move house in order to maintain this this covered porch. Um, so things like that we have to kind of pay attention to. So every line has to receive some notification. So it is, so this is setback line is 7 feet, and then the rear, I don't know why it's 26. It is a kind of unusual number. It usually is 25. Uh, something to verify. So and the city is Fountain Hills. Mountain Hills. I will have them verify these as well. Now this line here is another line. And I think most likely it's called like building building um, envelope line. So that means that house cannot be built anywhere else on a property. So that's the purpose of that line. So so we will need to coordinate with the civil engineer and tell him actually move this house another 8 feet, so this is not encroaching. And then we're gonna just tell him what happened. Then all this standard information. I'm not sure if this is latest owner, but this needs to be verified. And the same thing on assessor website. We need to update all this information. Now, livable area, we have covered patio, covered entry. Covered entry is called actually porch. That's kind of it's better terminology. And then when we do lot coverage calculation, we need to specify also so 6% is less than what. So in a zoning ordinance, most likely is like 25% or something. Um, and then verify all keynotes. This is pretty simple. However, so what else we have? So water meter. We will need also to show where is going to be. Well, since we have in a case when we don't have civil engineer, and in many cases we don't, then we will be showing, let's say this is what would be the best way to get sewer line. If you have sewer lines, this toilet here, and there is another toilet here. So most likely we're gonna get sewer line. Let's draw it with it's gonna go something like this and go straight to the main. Um, so this is sewer clean out. And then this information will need to be shown on our plumbing plan as well. So sewer clean out. We can show this 4-inch sewer line. On a site plan, this is shown just kind of just like dashed line because it is underground. What else we need to show on a, I don't know what is this like? Can you please find out if this is like light pole or something, or this is just, it does look like, oh, there's another one here. Oh, is this like cactus or something? Could be. Yeah. Anyway, find out what is this symbol. It should be on a legend on on legend on a survey file. They should have legend showing which one is each of these symbols. Actually, this is saguaro. This one is really kind of protected. So anytime we have this one in a building footprint, it has to be relocated. It has to be saved. So there's a lot of issues, and people don't like to deal with it. Sometimes if we see it, we will need to relocate house, so it has to stay 10 feet away from the saguaro cactus or cacti. So what else are we missing? Do we know if we have a gas or not? So this will be a question for the owner. So do we have a gas? Um, Also, we need to show there is a electrical panel. So it's gonna be something like this. And for house like this, it's usually 200 amps. So 200 amps electrical, I don't know, in meter. That's kind of typical designation for the. What else we need to show on a site plan? We need to show height. So we didn't show any height. So height will be actually from the curb, and this. So this is 30. 132, let's say this is 32, 32 from this point. We don't know what is the finished floor, so we need to specify finished floor elevation. So need a finished floor elevation, and that elevation will be given by civil engineer. So from civil engineer, in case that we don't have civil engineer, minimum by code is they say 14 inches or 14 inches above the curb. And then if we have a curb that's kind of sloping, you see this is all kind of in a pretty significant slope, then we estimate mid elevation, let's say from here, let's say from 1930 to 1933. So mid one is 1931 and a half. And from that point, minimum will be 14 inches. That's kind of code. But in this case, we have civil engineer, so we just need to see what will be his um, determined elevation. And then after that, we also need to show on a site plan, show building height, show building height. And this is just to top of the parapet. This is kind of this is desert area. It's a lot of natural protection. So in projects like this, we don't have any walls between houses. It's all natural grade. Um, in a flat piece of land, there usually it's like site walls. So we have to show site walls. We need to show what is the material of the site wall. We need to show how tall it is. In this case, when we have most likely it's going to be retaining walls. Most likely it's going to be somewhere here. So retaining wall. If if we have retaining wall, we need to show retaining. That's called the top of retaining wall. Then we need to show natural grade elevation at the bottom of the wall, and then top of footing. So these items need to be shown when we have retaining wall. Perhaps engineer will be able to kind of just grade, to change grading so there is no any retaining wall. So we'll see that once we get his plans. So I think that's something that that's usually shown. Livable area. Yeah, that's about it. Zapata residence. Now we can change this instead of Zapata, since the Zapata is name of the street, we can rename a project to last name of the owner. Owner's last name. And his last name, I don't remember. We'll find out. So also what is important, this is all correct. Expiration date 2026, my seal 2324, copyright reserved, project address, drone, and checked, approved. Okay, so that's about site plan. I'm gonna just save this in a folder. Dates. Now let's get something else. So when when we're doing the dimensioning, we have to kind of to put ourselves in the shoes of the people on the field, people who will be building this. So kind of let's say so if I start from here, so it is important. So all dimensions are from starting from exterior, and then we go now. Now I don't know. Let's say this wall here. We don't know this dimension. Yes, there's so this dimension here it is more for like a plan review purposes. But since kind of we need to try when we dimensioning not to cover drawing. So what I would recommend, pull these dimensions out. So this block stays clean out of any dimension. So it's clearly showing a toilet. Now we also need position of this wall because we need dimension from this point to this point. So this dimension line should be dimensioning all walls that are perpendicular to this dimension line. So we need this guy here. Actually, this is, I think, I think first dimension line, interior walls. And we go openings. I mean, it doesn't matter. Can go either way. Openings. Then we can go change of outline in total. um, yeah, we can use this one here, or we can just continue with these lines across. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Only thing we're kind of here. We have these kind of cutting across the number, or we just move this 6040 XO designation. We just move it here, move it out of dimension lines, so it's not. So we basically go through all these walls and see where we at. Where is the where are these lines? So okay, on this one here we have window. Now interior walls. Now we're interior walls. So we go to next one here, next one in line. So we have this one, and then we go to this guy. So let's say this is the wall. Then we go to this guy, and then we go next guy. And then we can just finish this one here. So we don't need we can just dimension. We don't need this dimension. If we are dimensioning this line, I'm not sure about, let's say, position of this window. What was the reason we have it here? Nothing particular. I would rather pull this window here and make it more like in the middle of this wall on the exterior end, on the exterior side. Can do that, and then update these. So we just need one dimension line here, because other one will be we don't need other one since everything is dimensioned here, so that will be fine. So this is center 3 for 3, 16 overhead, slope. This is all good. Sometimes on a homes with the 1 story in garage, builders like to do these exterior walls at the garage. They would like to do these walls 4 inches wall in the garage. So 4-inch wall in garage. This is only when it's 1 story structure, and that kind of that helps them to save little cost here and there. So that's they like to do that. So just go through all these now. Now, when we have these intermediate line dimensions, like, we don't know where is this one. So we figured out this wall, this one goes to here, but we don't know there is this one here. So we need to put we need to just pull one dimension line across, entire interior, and then we can get some definition here. We'd also need to get some definition on the center line to this door. So everything has to be defined. Otherwise, they're going to be just calling us all the time on the phone. We went over this several times. I'm not sure why I keep repeating. This is 4 inches. For a house this size, this is always 4 inch. It is not important here. They're going to build it 4 inches anyway, but I like to show you properly. Sometimes it can get critical in areas where we don't have much space. So it's where every inch is precious. So all these has to be adjusted. I think this one is already good. So this one is 4 inches, but this one here is not. So this one here has to be adjusted to 4 inches. So we finished with the elevations. So all of these has to be kind of, so every, we don't need to put dimension on location of this door because it is obvious, right? But one here, we can just dimension the, center line of this door. Also, we don't need these studs shown on the plan on interior of the plans unless is a bearing wall. And I don't think so that we came to that level that we are showing with what walls are bearing. So so we never show. You see, we don't have it here. So why we have it here? And that tells me there's a lot of some important structure, but I don't think so. So this has to be cleaned up on interior. On exterior, that's fine. That's fine. We can deal with those bricks, but interior walls, we don't need those. I'm not even sure why we have this guy here. I need to see details, what we have on details for framing. But
Edmir, I have been
yeah.
working yesterday on the framing and foundation, and then Vlatko worked on the floor plan, and that is why he reloaded the plan with the
Yeah, no,
post shown.
that's fine. Yeah, no, I mean, all of this is it's not kind of critique, just kind of going through and then trying to learn. So it's nothing wrong. So so let me. Oh, another thing, like sill at 48 inches. 48 inches. That's really high. And on on a projects like this. So all these have to be 60-50, or did the owner, because these are not typical window sizes that we use. I'm not sure, did the owner mention something about size of windows or not? If owner did not call any window sizes that we typically put 50 XO window, and then sill is 36, because 48 inches sill height is not allowed by code in a sleeping room. So maximum is 44 inches. Because they say in a case of emergency and the fire, people have to climb out of these windows. But anyway, so typically is 5 feet high window and 3 feet high sill. That's total 8 feet. And then we have 8 feet, 8 feet header height all across, and that would work. The same thing on this one here. So please check all these window sizes. It's a 50 XO and sill at 36. So that's all standard. Okay, this one is good. We have seal at 72, that's 6 feet, and we have 2 feet, so total is 8. So this one is good. In case that we wanted this seal to be less than 5 feet, then this glass have to be tempered glass. And then we have to show it on a plane or with a keynote or with designation T, that's tempered glass. So the same thing here. So change all windows. This one is okay. This one is okay. This one is okay. 40, 50, so that's all good. Now, I'm not sure if they want 8 feet, but let's call it 8 feet, that's fine. Um, okay, in this case, since we have a tub and we have 36-inch seal, so this has to be tempered. And you can just call it in addition to this note, just put tempered. Tempered. So what is tempered glass? Tempered glass is when you break it, it shatters in all little pieces. It doesn't break in the big pieces so you can get cut. So if you have to break glass, you will not get hurt. So that's the purpose of this kind of glass in these locations. The same thing here, typical, go through all these gems, 4-inch gem, typical. And I would like you to use all these in all your current projects, so we don't have to go through these every time. Um, so kitchen layout. So this spacing is okay, 3'8". This is 4 feet. I'm not sure what is going on here. Why is this break?
Double oven.
This is double oven, and this is all the
Yeah.
owner wanted.
Yes, yes, he posted a sketch for the kitchen.
Okay. Okay, then we should put keynote and reference it. These big refrigerators, they are typically 36 inches wide and they're about 32 feet, 32 inches deep. And we typically, these side walls, when we have it, we put these walls at 30 inches deep. So these walls go 30 inches. This kind of sink looks weird in a dimension. This is really narrow. These sinks are this dimension, I think, is about 20 by 30 inches. So please update it because it looks really odd. I don't know what is I think this is supposed to be dishwasher here, but there is note here, so I don't know where it is because graphically it's shown the dishwasher here. But annotation is here, so I don't know what it is. So coordinate kitchen layout. So these, yeah, something that's kind of weird in this layout, and there are a lot of things that are kind of weird on this plan because owners are just like particular. Yeah, they didn't want a wider bathroom. And they wanna, I mean, we never put, let's say, bathroom, when you open on the bathroom, like in an area where there's a dining, that there's always kind of little vestibule, you kind of hide it, it's not there all the time. But this is what they wanted, so I didn't want to challenge them on their. So another thing, when we drawing these sliding doors, these sliding panels, they always slide to outside. So this is drawn correctly. But I just want you to, when you do, sometimes when you put symbol, you don't think on which side is kind of sliding, but this is correct. So panel that is sliding is always slides outside, doesn't slide on inside. So that's something for your information. These general notes, now just for the, it can stay here, doesn't matter. But some of these general notes, if project is bigger and we don't have room, then we just put these general notes in a separate sheet on a, and we call it like GN, a general note. So some of this information like slope X, yeah, we have to define slope. It's a 1/8 inch. 1/8 inch slope is about one, that's kind of 1%. Now, what else is missing on floor plan? So we need to call sections. So we need to call out sections. It will be good to call also finished floor elevation. Show it also on the foundation plan. And that information will be coming from civil plans. So that's always good to have that reference. So we need to verify all ceiling heights. It is pretty simple on this project since everything is pretty clean. Now we need to show our electrical panels somewhere here. Then if we have any like hose bibs, I would probably put hose bib. Let's put it here. We can put hose bib like here. And you just call it, just put HB. You don't need keynote, just put HB. That's typical designation for the hose bibs. So we need one here, and then we can just put another one on the back. Another hose bib there. You always look to put it like behind the plumbing, so they don't have to bring the lines like all the way to here where there's no any plumbing lines, unless the owner really wants it. I think this will be a good location, but if they can always change it on the field, so it's no problem. Usually when we have a washer and dryer, washer is always on left hand side and dryer is on right, so that's shown correctly. Typically we always put like shelf, but now since we have window here, I'm not sure how will that work. So let's do not show any shelf. Let's just leave it like this. As far as water heater, so we have this platform. That's always good. And then we show this protection 25. That's also, that's kind of bollard for protection. What else? Now, partition types, wall types. So we need to be sure that our sheet numbering, because on some projects we have sheet numbering goes 100, 200, 300. On some we have just 1, 2, 3, and then detail sheet call with D1. Just be sure that this is refer that sheet D1, if we have braced walls there on this particular sheet, so there is no miscommunication. On this project, we are not showing windows, door and windows tags. We just show it directly on plan, so we can remove it from legend. Can be just confusing. So we have a W1, we have W2. Let's see what is the, oh, we don't have it here, so we need to show legend. We need to get partitions, wall and partition types, wall and partition types, legend. So be sure that to show all these properly. So all interior walls P1, and then where we have, I don't know which one is P3 because it's, yeah, obviously it's not, plans are still not to that level, but typically we have plumbing wall. That's any wall where we have a toilet, and it has to be 2x6, has to be 6 inches wall. This one is an exterior, so we don't need it. So I'm not sure why this is wall P3 because perhaps sink, but this wall can be actually, this can be 2x4. So this wall, it can be 2x4. So 2x6 is used only at the toilets, and reason for that because there's a 4-inch vent that goes through the roof, that vertical, and then when you have 2x4 wall, which is actually 3.5 inches, so this one cannot fit. So that's the reason they're using 2x6 at the walls where we have a toilet. On this one here, when we have a so long closet, most likely we will need like break in the middle. I mean, you just show a little, vertical piece that will support so long shelving. Pantry. So I think that's about it. So we have our area calculations needs to be shown. So that's all good. So every keynote has to be coordinated. So the best thing when you kind of double check project, what I do always, let's say you go make it yellow, and let's go here, keynote number 1, and just kind of label it sync, so you know it's cross kind of cross-checked. Dishwasher, refrigerator. So refrigerator is 3, dishwasher is 2. So this symbol has to be moved here. And just go through each one and be sure that all keynotes are showing shown correctly, what they're showing exactly what they say. Sometimes you put keynotes and they say something completely different, and it kind of gets sometimes really annoying and embarrassing. But we just try to keep it as clean and as possible. So anyway, so just check those, and I'll just put those here, check all keynotes. When do we have fireplace? No? Yeah, when we have fireplace, then there are specific keynotes have to be added and some code references have to be shown on fireplace. So that's important. Then when we get your red lines for the braced walls, so this denotes braced wall schedule. So this has to be shown. Let's say this is braced wall I'm gonna draw it in a blue. So it has to go, like this and to be shown on floor plan as well. It has to go. So braced wall. Foundation plan and on framing plan and on braced wall plan. So yeah, we need it because a reason for that, when we put braced wall schedule, it shows really important information on a framing and everything else. So they have to follow it when they start building. So this is electrical panel. Coordinate info from site plan. Also need to appear on electrical panel. Note, sometimes we show these symbols inside the wall, but that's not correct. When it's outside, it's literally just outside of the wall. Kind of panel just is screwed to the outside of the wall. But when panel is inside, then it's always recessed in a wall. So it should be shown properly. So I will finish with this, and then next time we will continue. So we'll go through this project, and you guys, as you go and you start putting other plans, then I'm gonna be kind of going through and talking about all these items, so you can see what is important on plans and how to put it together. But you just keep working on this project, and as we go, I'll be just putting these little presentations on each sheet, so you can better understand and realize what's how it needs to be shown on plans. Samo dopo Gassimo.